Hello, Mrs. Poindexter's class. I'm Mr. Poindexter. I teach social studies at the high school, and I hear you have a few questions for me.
Well, there was one in particular. We wanted to know who invented words.
That's a long, drawn-out question that has many ways of answering it. We'll start off with time, all right? Our time calendar is broken down into two things. BC on this side, which means before Christ, or also BCE, known as before Common Era, and AD, which means Day of Our Lord in Latin, or CE, Common Era. In history, we go by these two time periods. Let's go into the BC time period. This is the early times, and where we have cavemen come out, and they're grunting, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's their kind of words, but it's not words like we know, is it? So we go.
So their words were the grunting?
That's how they would communicate. Ugg would come over here and say, ooh, 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 ooh. And he would be a way of telling Nug and Ugg where the deer may be, or where the food source may be, or where the bathroom may be.
Is this when we had dinosaurs?
Oh no, these people came long after dinosaurs had gone extinct. So people and dinosaurs never lived together, okay? Science teachers can tell you the same thing too, I promise you. Going back to words. So we see communication going from ooh, ooh, to where we have actual words for things starting to come about. It's not though until later on when we have a group of people known as the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians were a sailing community that were located just north of Africa into the Mediterranean Sea. And I'm pretty sure if Mrs. Poindexter has a map, she could pull it down and show you where the Mediterranean Sea is.
I don't have a map, but I will work on getting one.
Our next video, we'll do geography. Now, the Phoenicians, what they did is they created what is known as the first written alphabet. Notice I said written.
And what were they called?
The Phoenicians.
The Phoenicians.
And they're spelled with a PH, not an F, when you look up Phoenicians. If you want more information, ask Mrs. Poindexter. I can load you up with their alphabet. Now, with words going into other languages, we have many different cultures. The Egyptians. You guys may be familiar with the Egyptians and the pictures they use to describe different things.
So Egyptians used pictures as words.
Yes, they're known as hieroglyphics. And if you were to go to, don't ask me to translate them because they're very difficult to look at and decide what this is supposed to mean. There are still people, historians and archaeologists. Archaeologists are the ones that dig up things to try to study history. They take these pictures and try to decipher what the Egyptians were saying with these pictures. Right? A lot of cultures do this. When you come to my class, when you get to high school, in just a few years, in world history, we study where these pictures lead in different cultures to mean different things. Think about emojis. When you send an emoji in like a Snapchat or some way you use emojis, that's your way of using a picture to represent either a feeling or a word. That's like a modern day hieroglyphic.
So the
Phoenicians
were the first one to invent words. They put letters together to make those words.
They were the ones to come up with a written alphabet.
So they're the ones who created the alphabet that we know today, like A, B, C, D. A version of it. Now the alphabet we have today has come a long way from their time period, and if I can get an example to Mrs. Poindexter, you guys will see what I'm talking about. And you may recognize certain things from it. It's really neat to look at and see where history has gone to where it comes to today. Thank you, Mr. Poindexter. We'll let you know if you have any more questions.
Feel free. I will answer any question you got about anything in history.